Hi, I'm Kevin Carnes. As your lead clerk and comptroller, I'm committed to ensuring you have helpful and easy to access service from the clerk's office. This how-to seminar is designed to assist you in navigating your court services and Lee County's official records. You can attend these sessions in person or view them online at leeclerk.org. I hope this convenient service enhances your customer experience with my office.
Welcome to your Lee County Clerk of Court and Comptroller's Office how-to seminar on filing a small claims case. My name is Yesenia Williams. I am the Community Relations Manager for your Lee County Clerk of Court and Comptroller's Office, and I'm delighted to go over this information with you today. A brief overview of our webinar. We will go over some general small claims information and discuss all of the in-person services available to you for filing a small claims case, as well as the required forms, time limits and related fees, and how to file online using a platform called TurboCourt. We'll also discuss the various methods of collection post-judgment and some available resources. A little bit about the Clerk's Courts Department, which facilitates the filing of small claims cases. The Courts Department is a vital part of the local court system, and it is comprised of 5 divisions. The office is also responsible for 4 main functions, including acting as the clerk to the courts, completing case processing, providing court financial assessments and support, and serving as the official record keeper for the courts. We have 2 locations, the main one being at 2075 Martin Luther King Boulevard in Fort Myers on the 1st floor, and a satellite office in Cape Coral located at 1039 Southeast 9th Place on the 2nd floor. At this time, that office does not offer small claims services, but this may be offered in the future. Our contact number is also 239-533-5000. So before we get started on how to file a small claims case, I do want to go over some fast facts regarding small claims cases. Small claims are disputes involving money damages where the amount at issue does not exceed $8,000. This is excluding costs, interest, and attorney's fees. So small claims are at the county court level. So it's, again, does not exceed the $8,000. Anything above $8,000 would be at the circuit level and would not be considered a small claims case. These kinds of disputes may involve contracts, property damage, or debt collection. And you are able to represent yourself in court or seek the assistance of an attorney to represent you on your behalf. When you're deciding whether or not you should file a lawsuit or a small claims case, you should consider a few things. Have you tried all of the possible and/or reasonable means to reach a settlement? Have you contacted the other party to try to reach an agreement prior to moving forward with filing a small claims case? Do you have or are you able to obtain the necessary evidence to prove your claim? So opening a small claims case is not just filing the paperwork. You should also be able to obtain any evidence to support or prove what it is that you're claiming. And do you know the correct legal name and address of the other party or the defendant? You will need both of these items in order to move forward with a small claims case. If you are suing an individual, again, you will need the exact name and address of the person or persons, if there are multiple, that you are suing. If you are suing a corporation or a business, you will need the exact name of the corporation that is on file with the Division of Corporation in Tallahassee, also known as Sunbiz. So you will have to do that research to find the exact name of the corporation as it is on file with Sunbiz. And not only that, you'll also need the name of the registered agent and the address where that registered agent may be served with the paperwork. To obtain this information, you can contact 1-850-488-9000 or visit the Division of Corporate Information's Online Information Center. So there are a variety of ways to file a small claims case. You can do this in person, which we'll go over momentarily. You can also file the paperwork by mail and open a case that way. or you can do it electronically. There are a couple ways to file electronically. You can use TurboCourt, which we're going to go over later in the presentation. TurboCourt does help with preparation of the forms and electronic filing. Or you can use the Florida Courts e-filing portal. The e-filing portal will not help with form preparation, so you would still need to obtain the forms and prepare them, but you can use the e-filing portal to electronically file your documents if you want to do it that way. Some important notes, you will need to provide documents relevant to your suit. This would include any contracts, invoices, bills, or receipts. So it's important to collect all of this information and have it ready before you file your small claims case. You will need one copy of this documentation for the court file and one copy for the other party or the defendant. So you will need to provide all of this information to the defendant as well. And the original documents should be brought with you to the hearing. So some things to consider before filing a claim. So we're going to go ahead and go over how to file in person. As I said earlier, at this time, you can only file in person in our Fort Myers location. You will need to provide the required and completed forms, and this would include any supplemental or supporting documentation for your claim. At that time, you'll also pay the filing fee, or you can apply for indigency, which is a waiver if you qualify. So if you do qualify for indigency, it would waive your filing fee and your summons fee. It would not waive any costs such as certified mailing or copies or notary services. And you'll also need to provide service to the other party, the defendant, once the case is open. So the first thing you're going to need is forms. The forms can be located in our online forms library or in our Honorable Linda Doggett Self-Help Center. We do have a self-help center located on the first floor of the Lee County Justice Center off Martin Luther King Boulevard in Fort Myers. These forms can be obtained, the physical forms can be obtained in this center, or you can access them online. One form that is available to you is the small claims information sheet. This information sheet does have vital instructions and information regarding the process. The three forms that are needed to open a small claims case are the civil cover sheet, the statement of claim, and the summons to appear for a pretrial conference or mediation. So these forms, again, are available in both our forms library online or in the self-help center. It's important to know, and you will hear me say this throughout the presentation, that the clerk is a ministerial office, meaning we cannot advise you on what to include on the form. So we can help you procedurally with what is needed in order to open your case, but we cannot guide you or advise you on the best course of action for your particular situation. This is an outline of the current fees for opening a small claims case. The fees are determined based on the amount of the claim. So if your claim is less than $100, your fee would be $55. But if your claim is $2,500.01 to $8,000, your filing fee is then $300. So going back to the indigency or waiver that I mentioned earlier, the indigency will waive this fee. So the fee to file with the claim, but it will not waive the certified mail or any additional charges for any additional parties. These fees are the current ones, but they are subject to change. So we do encourage you to visit www.leeclerk.org/fees for the most up-to-date information. So it is your responsibility to ensure that the defendant, the other party, is properly served. This can be done in one of three different ways. The most popular option, the one that is used the most, is going through the Lee County Sheriff's Office or the LCSO. They are located at 2072 Victoria Avenue in Fort Myers, and their contact number is 477-1353. At this time, they do have a service fee of $40 per defendant to serve a summons, and that payment must be made payable to the Lee County Sheriff's Office. You can also go through a process server. These are private entities and their fees are determined by the individual server. If you do not want to go through the Lee County Sheriff's Office or a process server, the clerk's office does offer a certified mail option. This is available for Florida addresses only, and it must be sent by the clerk's office. So you would pay us a nominal fee, and we would fulfill that certified mail process. This can present its challenges. Of course, as with certified mail, you just don't know if the person is served or not, but it is an option available to you. If you are trying to serve somebody who is out of the county or out of the state, you will need to contact the county where the defendant resides in order to obtain some vital information to move forward with the serving of the summons. The law enforcement agency that serves summonses in that county, the cost or state, the cost associated with serving each summons in that county, their acceptable payment methods, and the agency's mailing address. Once you've obtained that information, you can complete the forms as required to open the case that I went over earlier. Return those forms to the clerk's office along with the filing and service fees, and include an additional $1 per defendant for postage fees. This would be made payable to the Lee County Clerk of Courts. So once the case is opened, you've filed all of your paperwork that was needed in order to open your case. The clerk will issue you what's called a pre-trial mediation hearing date. This hearing date will be on the summons itself, which is what the other party will also get served with. So these mediation hearing dates are currently held remotely via Zoom. Attendance to these hearings is mandatory. If you fail to appear, the judge has the jurisdiction to make a decision, for example, ruling in favor of the plaintiff and ordering a judgment, or continuing the case. This, again, is completely up to the judiciary at that time. At this pretrial mediation hearing date, both parties can decide to come to a resolution. If there is no resolution, again, the judge will make a decision on the steps forward. This can be another hearing, this can be set for trial. This is completely up to the judiciary on what those next steps would be. So that kind of brings us to the end of how to file a small claims case in person and get that case started. Now we're going to go over how to do this online. So this is facilitated through what's called Turbo Court. So Turbo Court is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There is a nominal processing fee for utilizing their services. At this time, it is $10.40 in addition to the fees that we went over earlier. The case can be fully initiated online, so you can do everything we just went over online from the comfort of your home. And it can be used for form preparation or both form preparation and filing. So if you want to use Turbo Court to just help you prepare the forms and then you want to print them and bring them into the office to file in person, you can do that. Or you can use it to help you prepare the forms and fulfill the electronic filing. Once you've submitted your case through Turbo Court, you do need to allow 5 business days for the case to be opened with the clerk's office and for all of the follow-up work to be completed. We will issue the summons that will get issued and emailed to you for service. So in person, we would give you the summons once we've done all of the work so that you can either go to the sheriff's office or a process server to get it served. Online, if you open your case electronically, we will email you that document so that you can go to the sheriff's office or a process server to have it served. So we're going to go ahead and go over how to electronically file your case. If you access our website at leeclerk.org/small claims, on the right-hand side, you'll see an icon for Turbo Court. Once you click on that, it'll take you to a completely different site for Turbo Court, and you will go ahead and click on Small Claims Electronically File. Here you will choose what jurisdiction or county you're wanting to open your small claims case in. Of course, we're going to go ahead and choose Lee County. And this will walk you through all of the various steps. TurboCourt is very user-friendly, so you can kind of go over it and see what is needed. Anything with a red asterisk next to it means that it is required. So here you are, we're going to go ahead and click on I am starting a new case in this court. The case category, you will have to choose small claims. And under the case type, you're going to choose how much, what your claim is for. So the amount it is that you're claiming. So for the purpose of this presentation, we'll go ahead and click 100 but less than 500. So once you click your case type, you can click on next. And it'll bring you to this introduction page. So it is very important that you read all of the information that's on this introduction page. A couple things I'm going to just highlight is that TurboCourt does allow you to save and come back. So if you start the process of electronically filing your case and you find you need to just stop what you're doing and do something else, you can do that. Just click the save button and you can come back later. You do need to create an account to use TurboCourt, so you could just use your login credentials to come back. Another thing I want to highlight, just like the clerk's office is unable to provide you with any legal advice or counseling, TurboCourt is the same. They are there as a tool to help you prepare and electronically file, but you will need to perform your own research or consult an attorney for any legal advice or counseling. So once you've read all of that information, it'll bring you to the plaintiff information page. So here's where you would include your information if you're the one that is starting the suit or filing the case. So the plaintiff type, you would choose individual, or if there's multiple plaintiffs, you would choose that. We're going to choose individual. Again, everything with a red asterisk means that it is required. You'll include the first name, the last name, the telephone number, and the email address. So in this case, Minnie Mouse is who is suing someone. So once you've included all of that information, you can click next. And it'll now ask you for the defendant's information. So notice it says defendant number 1 because there could be additional defendants. For this particular case, we're going to just have one defendant. So individual would be the defendant type. Again, with an asterisk, it is required. You'll include the name, the address, and the zip code. In this instance, the email address is not required, but we do encourage you, if you do have an email address available for the defendant, that you also include that on there. So Minnie Mouse is suing Donald Duck, who lives on Quack Street. The next page is going to ask you for all relevant claim information. So you're going to go ahead and include the amount of your claim. This is not including any costs, just the amount it is that it is you're seeking. So I went ahead and put in 300. And then you're going to provide an explanation of the nature and facts of your case and your allegations. So we do encourage you to be as thorough as possible in this section and include anything that is relevant regarding facts about your case. So the defendant hit my car and I did not have any car insurance. My headlight was broken and it needs to be repaired. This is very simple, obviously, but any information that you have to support your case, you would include on here. Then you'll also have the opportunity to upload any additional documents to help support your claim. Again, that is very important. If you have any contracts, invoices, or any documents to help support your claim, that you upload them and file them together with all of their other required forms. So you do have the opportunity to do that at this time. So once you've done that, you can go ahead and click next, and it'll bring you to the different payment options. You can either pay the filing fee if you know that you just want to pay that and you don't qualify for the fee waiver, or you can apply for the fee waiver at this time. I do want to highlight that if you do not qualify for a fee waiver, so if you choose the option to apply for the fee waiver and you do not qualify, you will be invoiced for the required filing fee at that time. And if that fee isn't paid during a certain amount of time, then you may also be subject to additional fees such as collections fees. So something important to keep in mind. So for this, for the purpose of this presentation, we'll go ahead and click Filers will pay the filing fee. It'll then bring you to the next steps page. It does tell you that at the time of filing your claim, you will be given a receipt that states the amount you have to pay for the filing. the case number assigned to your case, and the date and time for your pretrial mediation hearing. Again, as I mentioned earlier, you are responsible for serving the defendant with copies of the statement of claim and the summons, and it does highlight the different ways that you can do that. So once you've read through this, you can click on the next button and it'll bring you to the review and submission page. So here you can come to a decision point, whether you just want to click on the forms. It does create PDF versions of the forms using the information that you've put in. You can click on the forms and just print them and come in person to file, or mail them in if you want to do it that way. Or you can also submit the case from this point. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what those forms are going to look like. This is what the prepared forms would look like. This is the statement of claim, so it does include all of the plaintiff and the defendant information going from what you put in when you were opening the case. And it includes the sum that you are claiming as well as the facts under it. The case number portion does remain blank because the case number gets issued once the clerk's office has opened the case on the back end. Again, once you have submitted your case electronically, you do need to allow 5 business days for the case to be accepted by the clerk's office and for the follow-up work to be performed, and this would include issuing the summons. The clerk will email you the summons for service, and the summons does include the pretrial hearing date and time. This is an example of what that email looks like. So the clerk will send you this email telling you you're receiving it because you've submitted a document for issuance with your filing. It does, if you are a pro se litigant, meaning you are a self-represented individual, again, very important, you are responsible for serving the defendant with a copy of the summons, complaint, and any standing orders if that is applicable. And you have to do this through any of the below ways, which is through the sheriff's office, a process server, or if you're out of county, or if you're trying to serve somebody who's out of county or state, you need to follow those instructions. So I'll briefly go over the Florida Courts e-filing portal. It is also available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You will need to obtain the forms from our website though. So the Florida Courts e-filing portal does not assist with form preparation. So again, you need to obtain the forms from our website or in person. Once you've completed those forms, you can upload them through the portal, and you would still need to allow 5 business days for the case to be open. And same process applies. We will email you the summons for service. So the biggest difference with the Florida Courts e-filing portal is that it does not prepare the forms. Again, you would need to upload the forms. This brings us to methods of collection. So we do have a detailed method of collection information sheet available on our website. I'll go ahead and go over the 3 main ones. I do want to mention again, the clerk's office cannot provide you with any legal advice or guidance on the best way to collect once a judgment has been issued by a judge. We can provide you with information, but we cannot advise you. So one way to collect would be to record a judgment. To do this, you would need to obtain a certified copy of the final judgment and record it with our official records office. There are fees that apply to do that. It's a nominal fee. What this will do is it'll place a lien against any real property in Lee County owned now or in the future by the defendant. Another way to collect would be through what's called a writ of execution. This can be done 15 days after the judgment has been recorded with your official records office. This is something, however, you will need to perform your own legal research for. Procedures should be followed pursuant to Florida Statute 55.201 or 55.209. So you can seek the advice of counsel, an attorney, or you can perform your own legal research, but the clerk's office cannot help you proceed or advise you on how to do a writ of execution. You can also do what's called a writ of garnishment. So if there is no real property or personal property to be seized under the writ of execution, you can do the writ of garnishment. If a third person owes the defendant money or has defendant's property in his possession, or if there is a bank account in the defendant's name. Just like the writ of execution, the clerk's office cannot provide you with any legal advice. You will need to perform your own research, your own legal research, or speak to an attorney when it comes to the writ of garnishment as well. Again, the clerk's office is there to assist you procedurally, but because we are a ministerial office, we cannot guide you or provide any legal advice with this process. Some available contacts and resources for you. Again, our Honorable Linda Doggett Self-Help Center, located in the Lee County Justice Center off of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, does have a variety of resources available to you. This includes computers that you can use to electronically file or perform any research, as well as a forms library, an in-person forms library. The clerk's website is also a great tool, leeclerk.org/claims. We do have a myriad of information available to you there as well. You can also email us at courts@leeclerk.org, and one of our customer service team professionals will reach out to you with assistance. That brings us to the end of our presentation today. Again, I am Yesenia Williams, the Community Relations Manager. My direct line is 533-2763, and my email is ywilliams@leeclerk.org. Please feel free to reach out to me with any questions, and I will do my best to assist you. Also, if you have any suggestions for any other seminars that we can host, I'd love to hear it. I also encourage you to subscribe to our newsletter at leeclerk.org/subscribe to get the latest and greatest about the clerk's office. Thank you for joining me today, and have an excellent day.